Welcome to Medical Frontiers. I'm here at a conveyor belt sushi restaurant where the customers choose the sushi they want. You can actually order as well from the special menu, and they actually deliver it directly to the table. And these plates start at about 100 yen, which is about $1, which is incredibly reasonable. So here it comes express to the table. People say the fact that Japanese eat so much fish is one of the secrets to the Japanese longevity. Fish such as sardines, mackerel and tuna, especially these cold water fish, are high in the omega-3 fatty acids known as EPA and DHA. The Japanese consume huge amounts of these omega-3s. Japan does a lot of research too on the health benefits of these omega-3s, and new discoveries are being made all the time.
Japan is a world leader in cutting-edge medical technology and healthcare services. Join us as we explore Medical Frontiers. Fish is central to the Japanese diet. Oily fish such as mackerel and bonito can be found on many families' dining tables. The fat in bonito sashimi is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. The omega-3s are EPA, DHA, and alpha-linolenic acid. Researchers say they prevent hardening of the arteries and heart disease.
People take omega-3 supplements all over the world. And in Japan, though, refined EPA pills are also available as prescription drugs from hospitals. We went to find out who uses those pills and how effective they are.
Doctors at Toho University Sakura Medical Center actively prescribe EPA to patients. Ichiro Tatsuno is a doctor specializing in lifestyle-related diseases. He's been studying the health benefits of EPA for more than 30 years. In Japan, pills with highly pure concentrations of EPA from sardines are available as prescription drugs. Some were developed by Japanese pharmaceutical companies, and others are imports from countries such as Norway.
EPA is said to have various benefits, such as suppressing plaque formation in the blood vessels. It's also thought to work on the vessels by improving the function of endothelial cells, so there's a synergistic effect. I believe it is extremely important for preventing lifestyle-related diseases.
Hideharu Ozutsumi, who's 73, is one of Tatsuno's patients.
失礼します。お世話になります。よろしくお願いします。
His triglyceride levels started rising 2 years ago, making him more vulnerable to strokes and heart failure. Overeating and obesity cause excessive fatty acids to accumulate in the liver, where they turn into triglycerides. They bind with proteins and enter the bloodstream. From there, they enter the blood vessel walls and cause lumps called plaques. These plaques disrupt the flow of blood. That increases the risk of heart attacks and strokes. These are the results of a blood test Ozutsumi had in 2015. The normal range for triglycerides is below 150 milligrams per deciliter. But Ozutsumi's level reached 357. To lower his triglycerides, Tatsuno prescribed EPA pills. Drugs for fighting triglycerides are available, but EPA is a natural alternative with fewer side effects. When taken in large quantities, EPA discourages fatty acids from turning into triglycerides. This reduces the concentration of triglycerides in the blood. Ozutsumi's triglyceride level dropped below 200 after 1 month of taking EPA.
When I went to the hospital in November, my triglyceride level was down to about 180. My doctor recommended I continue taking EPA and come again in 3 months to check the level again. I'm looking forward to my next visit because I want to see how my triglyceride level changes.
71-year-old Toshio Fujiya is another one of Tatsuno's patients. He'd had high blood pressure since he was in his 40s and was taking a hypertension medication. Then, one day, 18 years ago, he began to feel odd while at work.
It was about 10:30. I was at my desk. I felt something was wrong with my legs and then with my hands too. That night, my left hand and left leg became completely paralyzed.
He immediately went to the hospital and underwent detailed tests. He'd had a stroke. In people with high blood pressure, the inner walls of the blood vessels can become damaged. When this happens, platelets stick together to cover the damaged areas to heal them, but this forms blood clots. If the clots are large, they can block blood vessels, preventing oxygen and nutrients from reaching the brain. This causes brain cells to die, causing a stroke. In Fujiya's case, doctors caught the problem at an early stage. They immediately gave him drugs to dissolve the clots, preventing his condition from becoming more serious. But he remains at risk. So in addition to blood pressure and clot-fighting drugs, he's been taking EPA pills. EPA enters platelets in the blood vessels. Once inside, it fights excessive clotting. It also makes its way into the cells of blood vessel walls, so they become more elastic. In short, EPA helps maintain smooth blood flow, reducing the risk of strokes and other conditions. Fujiya has not had another stroke.
I can live a normal life. I feel that it's all thanks to the EPA pills I've been taking.
EPA can lower your heart rate and your blood pressure. It's also known to help keep platelets from sticking together. We believe that all these functions work together and reduce the risk of cardiovascular events such as heart attacks, cerebral hemorrhages, and strokes.
Omega-3 fatty acids contained in fish are essential. But there's another type we need for good health. Plants that are used to make oil, such as corn and safflower, are rich in omega-6 fatty acids. These acids are also found in the meat of livestock animals that feed on these foods. Maintaining the right balance of omega-6 and omega-3 is very important. Researchers in Japan have found that the risk of heart disease decreases when the ratio is 1 to around 0.6. But today, many people eat a lot of foods containing mainly meat and oil. This means they consume too much omega-6 and too little omega-3. A group of researchers is trying to pinpoint how the balance of these fatty acids affects our bodies. Makoto Arita is the team's leader. He ran experiments on mice and found that an incorrect balance could promote heart disease. He gave one group of mice a large quantity of omega-6. The balance of omega-6 to omega-3 was 1 to 0.04. Arita gave the other group the two types of acids in amounts that were close to the ideal ratio. Then, he made arteries in the mice's hearts narrower, so they were more susceptible to heart failure. This is a microscopic image of the heart muscles of one mouse given too much omega-6. The areas shown in blue are cells that became inflamed and hardened. This indicates weak movement in the muscles, a sign of heart failure. This image is from a mouse with an optimal balance of omega-6 and omega-3. Few areas are blue, indicating that the condition of the muscles is close to normal. Arita conducted detailed analyses of several hundred substances found in mice given an ideal balance of omega-6 and omega-3. He found that a substance called 18-HEAP had increased. It's generated when EPA is metabolized. Arita believes 18-HEAP works on the heart tissue. When heart muscle tissue is damaged, immune cells gather around the affected area. As they try to cover over the wound, the tissue becomes inflamed. The inflammation gradually spreads, hardening the muscle, and this leads to heart failure. But when there's a high concentration of EPA in the body, it makes its way into immune cells in large quantities. When the immune cells gather around damaged tissue, the EPA inside generates and releases 18-HEAP. That suppresses inflammation and prevents the muscles from hardening. Arita and his team hope to find a way to encourage the production of 18-HEAP and use their findings to develop a new drug.
Professor Arita, thank you so much for your time today. It's a great pleasure to have you on the show. よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。EPA and DHA have been used for a long time, for quite a while in Japanese medicine. And what do you think about the benefits of using both EPA and DHA in medicine?
Usually, EPA is said to help improve blood circulation. But there's been a lot of talk about its other benefits, too. It could improve metabolism, for instance, lower triglyceride levels, and prevent heart or cardiovascular disease. And some say it could boost brain function.
Professor, do you think in the future we're going to see a lot more incidents in Japan of, for example, strokes, heart disease, all these sorts of things which were traditionally quite low within the Japanese population?
When Japanese people adhered to a traditional diet, the ratio of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids was relatively good. But surveys have shown that among young people in Japan today, there's an imbalance in consumption of the two types of fatty acids. If young people continue eating this way, they'll have a higher risk of cardiovascular disease when they hit their 30s or 40s. So, health problems could be a big issue in the near future.
Should we be having it from supplements or fish? What's the best or most effective way to take these omega-3 oils?
It's hard to give a definitive answer. There are various types of supplements. One thing we should pay attention to is whether the quality is properly managed. I believe there's no problem with taking supplements if the quality is adequately controlled. In addition to the omega-3s, fish also has other nutrients necessary for the human body. It's not that food is better or supplements are better. I think medical professionals have to pay attention to balance and quality control and offer nutritional guidance to patients.
Thank you so much for your time. Many scientists believe that DHA, one of the omega-3 fatty acids, could have beneficial effects for the brain. A Japanese research team is performing important studies on how DHA affects the nerve cells in the brain.
Michio Hashimoto from Shimane University Faculty of Medicine has done 2 decades of research into how DHA affects the brain. His focus is the hippocampus. We have 2 hippocampi, and they control memory and emotions. Irregularities cause cognitive functions to decline. As we get older, neurons in the hippocampi die and they decrease in number. This causes the hippocampi to shrink and become less active. In an experiment, Hashimoto took neuronal stem cells from a mouse's hippocampi. He added DHA to some of them, but not others. This image shows a sample without added DHA. The red dots are the nuclei of stem cells, which create new neurons. The new neurons are shown in green. Without DHA, the stem cells did not generate many new neurons. This is a sample with added DHA. More parts are green, indicating more neurons have been generated and are growing. Hashimoto reasoned that even if the number of neurons in the hippocampi decreases, stimulation with DHA could promote the creation of new ones, and this would help keep the hippocampi from shrinking.
I thought, if we were to give DHA to patients with dementia, we might be able to keep it from progressing or treat the symptoms.
Hashimoto worked with an elderly care facility to test his theory. He had residents eat sausages made from minced fish every day. One group was given sausages rich in DHA. Their daily DHA intake was 1,800 milligrams. The other group ate sausages low in DHA. Their daily intake was 100 milligrams. All of the participants took an internationally standardized test for assessing cognitive skills before and after the experiment. The test covers 11 items, including memory and understanding. The participants' scores revealed a significant change in one area.
私が今から3つその件、私が言い終わったら繰り返してください。言いますね。桜、猫、電車。
桜、猫、電車。
はい、いいですね。この言葉は後でまた聞くので覚えておいてください。じゃあ次いきますよ。
The examiner asks several other questions and then comes back to the 3 words.
さっきね、覚えておいてくださいって言った言葉が3つあったけど、
猫で桜でだけど
でしたね。猫台桜台あったね。
The goal is to see if the subject can remember new information. The testing showed scores for people in the group given small amounts of DHA dropped by over 4/10 of a point 1 year after they began eating the sausage. But scores for those who consumed a lot of DHA rose by more than 1/4 of a point.
Typically, people with dementia can remember things that happened a long time ago. But they have difficulty remembering new information. But what we've found through our research is that ingesting DHA through meals is effective for preventing dementia or for slowing its progression.
After seeing the results, the facility's operators decided to continue giving residents sausages containing DHA, so they consume at least 1,700 milligrams a day.
With scientific studies showing that the Japanese diet rich in fish is effective against lifestyle-related diseases, it seems a great shame that Japanese people are now eating a lot less fish. The diet here has become very westernized, particularly among the young generation who are eating a lot of processed, junk and convenience-type food. But this trend is worldwide, and I hope it will inspire the next generation to rethink their eating habits and also return to their traditional diets. Today on the program, we're going to be focusing on the omega-3 rich fish, which are actually found all over the world in tinned or canned fish. And here to help us is dietitian Naoko Makino, and she is a specialist. Naoko, so how many grams should we be eating, or how much of these omega-3 fats should we be having every day?
Japan's health ministry recommends that adults consume about 2,000 milligrams per day.
How many grams of omega-3 would be, for example, in 1 can of salmon?
This can contains about 2,600 milligrams, so a little less than 1 can would provide 2,000 milligrams.
A 90-gram serving of canned mackerel provides the recommended daily intake of 2,000 milligrams of omega-3. With sardines in oil, a serving of about 120 grams is just right. Now for some dishes you can make at home, starting with fish burgers. Mix together tofu, minced onion, potato or other starch, and drained canned boiled mackerel.
But I think kids often don't like the smell of fish.
True, that's why I've chosen to add a teriyaki flavor.
Everybody loves teriyaki sauce.
As a side, I've prepared boiled broccoli. It's rich in a vitamin called folic acid, which is good for the brain. DHA is also good for the brain, so this dish is brain food.
Here's a main dish idea using rice that's easy to make. Cook the rice with canned salmon, mushrooms, ginger, and soy sauce and mirin for seasoning.
This doesn't smell fishy at all, it just smells this lovely ginger.
The final dish is a gratin. Layer sliced avocado and tomato and top with sardines in oil. Separate the fish into bite-sized chunks.
Because I think sardines are especially rich in the omega-3 fats, aren't they?
Yes, that's true. The small bones in sardines contain calcium, and they're rich in vitamin D, which helps our bodies absorb calcium.
Sprinkle cheese and basil on top and bake for 10 minutes.
Itadakimasu. It tastes like delicious pizza. Really, it's absolutely delicious. And it doesn't need anything. There is no added seasonings at all, and it's absolutely delicious as it is. Teriyaki mackerel burger.
どうぞ。
Absolutely delicious with the teriyaki sauce. It doesn't taste fishy at all, and it's got this lovely flavour of, well, obviously there's tofu as well.
Tofu is packed with plant-based proteins. They make blood vessels elastic, so they're said to help prevent heart attacks.
Because the great thing is you can have these cans in your kitchen. When you've come home from work, you're really busy, you haven't had time to buy fresh fish, but you can have a can in the cupboard and then use it very easily.
Young people aren't so keen about fresh fish, partly because it's expensive. So, in my cooking class, I tell my students to use canned fish instead.
Absolutely. I'm so inspired to try these recipes at home, so thank you so much. ありがとうございます。